Hey guys, so Letterboxd came out with their 2025 wrap today, so I thought that would be fun to go over it and react to it. And then I also thought it would be fun to do a 2025 movie wrap up, so I'm gonna go through all the movies that I watched last year and what I thought about them. My credentials are nothing. I did not go to film school. I'm just a normal person who has an AMC A-list membership and likes going to the movies. So I'm gonna screen record while I look at the Letterboxd Wrapped and put it on the screen so you can see what I'm looking at as I react to it. Okay, here we go. It says your 2025 personal stat summary is ready to view. Okay, honors 2025 in film by the numbers. So I watched 52 films. I reviewed 24, and these are not real reviews. I just they're funny. And 107 hours watched. My most watched actor was Jonathan Bailey, and most watched director was John Chu. That's interesting. What? I watched both Wicked movies last year, so maybe that's why. But that doesn't make sense because I've seen a couple movies multiple times. I don't know, that's weird. Okay, highly rated 2025 films. Weapons, 5 stars. One Battle After Another, 5 stars. Stranger Things finale, 5 stars. Most watched week of 2025 was the last week of 2025, obviously, because it's that week in between Christmas and New Year's when you don't even know what day it is. So I watched 6 films, week 52, December 22nd to 28th. Most watched day of 2025, Saturday. That makes sense. I usually go to the movies on Saturdays, and it says I watched 15 films. My first watch was Thelma on January 1st, and my last watch was the Stranger Things finale on December 31st. Diary milestone. So my 50th movie was Rental Family on December 28th. Most watched theme, horror, the undead, and monster classics. Of course, I love my horror movies. Most watched nano genre, eerie, bloody, horrifying. That sounds about right, not gonna lie. Letterboxd 2025 year in review is coming soon. Oh, so that's like the public one. Okay, so those are my stats for 2025. Now I'm going to go on my diary on Letterboxd and just go through every single movie that I watched in 2025. Okay, so this is gonna be completely spoiler free while I'm talking about the movie, and I'm gonna read the little summary on Letterboxd just because I don't want to come up with a summary myself. So January 1st, I watched Thelma. I gave it 2.5 stars. When 93-year-old Thelma Post gets duped by a phone scammer pretending to be her grandson, she sets out on a treacherous quest across the city to reclaim what was taken from her. So this one was cute. I really liked the relationship between Thelma and her grandson. I just gave it 2.5 because it wasn't that funny. It was just cute, but wasn't anything crazy special. Then I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith on the plane on the way home from Florida on January 2nd. I loved that movie. I wish I didn't watch it on a plane and I watched it on my TV. But this is a classic, so most people have seen this. But a husband and wife struggle to keep their marriage alive until they realize they are both secretly working as assassins. Now their respective assignments require them to kill each other. So this is just super entertaining. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. Then January 3rd, I saw Baby Girl in theaters. I also gave that 4 stars. I loved this movie. I thought it was fun, sexy, interesting, just so well done. The acting was great. A high-powered CEO puts her career and family on the line when she begins a torrid affair with her much younger intern. So it's the Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson workplace romance movie. Then January 4th, I saw Nora, and I gave that 4.5. I loved this movie so much. I saw it in the theater, which was just such a great experience. It's entertaining the whole time. It's fast-paced. It's really funny. The acting's incredible. I just highly recommend. This also won a million Oscars last year, so everyone knows about this. But a young sex worker from Brooklyn gets her chance at a Cinderella story when she meets and impulsively marries the son of an oligarch. Once the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened as his parents set out to get the marriage annulled. That might not sound that interesting, but it is, and there's action in it, so it's good. Then January 11th, I saw A Complete Unknown, which is the Timothée Chalamet Bob Dylan movie. I gave that 2.5 stars. I did not like this movie at all. I thought it was so boring and you learned nothing about Bob Dylan except that he is like an asshole, and the whole movie was just them at like the Newport Folk Festival. I love Timothy Chalamet and that's why I saw it. I'm also not a Bob Dylan fan. Like, I don't dislike him, I just don't listen to his music. And I kind of was going in expecting like a Bohemian Rhapsody, like amazing movie. And yeah, I mean, I just did not like it, but I'm not gonna read the blurb because it's like a Bob Dylan movie. Then I saw Wolfman on January 23rd. I saw that in the theater. I gave it 3 stars. Honestly, I should probably put it down to like 2 or 2.5 because like I did not like this. The trailer was scarier than the movie. Like the trailer had all the scary scenes in it, so I was hoping for more scary moments and there just like weren't. I saw it because Julia Garner's in it and I really like her. But it's basically about this family and the dad is turning into a werewolf, which sounds like it should be good, but it just wasn't. So, with his marriage fraying, Blake persuades his wife Charlotte to take a break from the city and visit his remote childhood home in rural Oregon. As they arrive at the farmhouse in the dead of night, they're attacked by an unseen animal and barricade themselves inside the home as the creature prowls the perimeter. But as the night stretches on, Blake begins to behave strangely, transforming into something unrecognizable. Yeah, like Julia Garner was good in it, but just the story was not that interesting. Then I saw A Real Pain, and I watched that at home. I gave it 4 stars. I really like this movie. It's great. It was directed by Jesse Eisenberg, and he also stars in it. And then Kieran Culkin also stars in it, and I love him so much. Mismatched cousins David and Benji reunite for a tour through Poland to honor their beloved grandmother. The adventure takes a turn when the pair's old tensions resurface against the backdrop of their family history. So this is kind of them taking a trip through Poland together, and it's about like their relationship and then also reconnecting with their Jewish heritage and going to concentration camps and stuff. It was beautifully shot and it was a great movie. It was like a little slow, but it was really good. Then January 26th, I saw Nosferatu in the theater. Loved this movie. I gave it 4 stars and my Letterboxd review was disgusting. Loved it. Lily Rose Depp. I know there's like a bunch of memes of her in this movie. She's so good in it. This is the blurb. It says, a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. It's great. I really like the color grading. Like, it was super dark and gray and the costumes were amazing and it also was beautifully shot. It was just great. Then March 1st, I saw Companion in the theaters. I gave it 4 stars. I was surprised by how much I loved this movie. I really liked the style of it and it just had a really interesting concept, and I'm excited to see more from this director in the future. So the summary is, during a weekend getaway at a secluded lakeside estate, a group of friends find themselves entangled in a web of secrets, deception, and advanced technology. As tensions rise and loyalties are tested, they uncover unsettling truths about themselves and the world around them. So if you know nothing about this, this is great to go into blind, because then I think you'd be surprised by like the reveal. But then if you know what it's about, then it's not surprising. But I did know what it was about and I still really enjoyed it. It's a horror movie, but it's not like super dark or like upsetting. It's kind of like fun party horror. So even if you don't really like horror movies, I feel like it's fine to watch. It's not like scary. It just has like kills in it. Then I watched Citizen 4, which is a documentary from 2014 about Edward Snowden, and I loved it. I thought it was super interesting and well done, and if you have not seen it, I would recommend if you're interested in that story. Then March 15th, I saw Mickey 17 in the theater. I gave it 4 stars. This is a Robert Pattinson movie, and Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette are also in it, and oh, Naomi Aki, I really like her as well. And yeah, I really liked this movie. So this was directed by Bong Joon-ho, who also directed Parasite. And this is the summary on Letterboxd. Unlikely hero Mickey Barnes finds himself in the extraordinary circumstance of working for an employer who demands the ultimate commitment to the job to die for a living. So basically Robert Pattinson's character, I think he's like in a lot of debt or something, so there's a lot of people like trying to kill him, like coming after him. And then there's this job opportunity where you can leave Earth and get paid a lot of money, and because he was on the run, he was like, I need to get this job so I can leave Earth so these people can't come for me anymore. and then he gets the job, and basically they make clones of his body, I think, and then I don't really know, I can't really remember the science behind like how they did that, but he basically just has to keep dying and then like regenerates like after his death. And yeah, it was super well done. It was interesting. Then April 22nd, I saw Sinners for the first time. I gave it 4.5 that time that I watched it, and then I bumped it up to 5 stars later after watching it in IMAX. But this time I saw Sinners, I just saw it in like regular format. Honestly, I think you should go into this blind. I feel like everyone has seen it, but it's so good. I saw it twice in theaters. Okay, this is the blurb. So, trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. So Michael B. Jordan plays 2 characters that are twins, which I loved. He did such a good job. All the acting in it is so good. That's all I'm gonna say, because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil anything. Then on June 11th, I watched Kneecap, and I gave that 5 stars. So this movie is so cool because it's about the Irish group Kneecap, but they actually play themselves in the movie, which is amazing. And I'm just a huge fan of them and everything that they stand for. And the movie was super entertaining, but it also really made me like them. So this is the summary. When fate brings Belfast teacher JJ into the orbit of self-confessed low-life scum, Nisha and Liam, I think that's Nisha, is that how you say it? I'm sorry, I don't know. The needle drops on a hip-hop act like no other. Rapping in their native Irish, they lead a movement to save their mother tongue. So they're really passionate about keeping the Irish language alive, which is really cool. Then on July 3rd, I saw Jurassic World Rebirth, which I gave 3.5 stars. It was just like visually really cool. Like I liked all the dinosaurs and stuff. I think the script was like kind of whatever, but I liked the story and it was just entertaining, and I just love Jurassic Park movies because of the dinosaurs. Oh, and Jonathan Bailey was in that. So I could see how this made him my top actor. Then I saw Eddington on July 19th in the theater, and this one is like so controversial because so many people hated this movie. I gave it 4 stars because I just like thought it was a comedy. I just thought it was funny and it made me laugh and I like enjoyed it, but I don't know how different people perceived it and stuff. So it is an Ari Aster movie, and I loved Hereditary and Midsommar, and honestly I think he needs to go back to horror after, you know, this movie. And then I didn't see Beau is Afraid, but I feel like it was not received well. I don't know. So in May of 2020, a standoff between a small town sheriff and mayor sparks a powder keg as neighbor is pitted against neighbor in Eddington, New Mexico. So it's set in like the pandemic in 2020, and is kind of about how like crazy everyone was. And there's like a lot of debate in the movie about wearing masks and stuff, and I just think it's funny looking back on how everyone was acting during that time. And then also the Black Lives Matter movement is just making fun of like performative activism. I thought it was like an interesting period piece. Then July 20th, I saw Superman. I really like this. I gave it 3 stars. Okay, my rating system kind of doesn't make sense, I'm realizing, because I'm like, oh, I really liked it, I gave it 3 stars, and then another movie I was like, oh, I didn't like it, I gave it 3 stars. Yeah, I can't really explain my rating system. It only makes sense to me, and I haven't even perfected it yet, so maybe this should be 3.5. I don't know. But yeah, it's the James Gunn Superman movie with David Corenswet, and I thought it was great. Then I saw Oh Hi on July 25th. I gave it 3.5. This one was just fun and I really liked it. It has Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman in it. Iris and Isaac's first weekend away as a couple is going so well until Isaac mentions he didn't know they were a couple. Convinced she's met her perfect guy and that he's just confused, Iris goes to increasingly ridiculous and irrational lengths to prove to Isaac that they are meant to be together. So it's like a funny, I really don't even know if I would call it like a romance movie, but if you want something just like funny and lighthearted, I would recommend that. Then September 21st, I saw The Long Walk in the theater. I gave it 3.5 stars. This is a Stephen King adaptation. In a dystopian alternate America ruled by a totalitarian regime, 50 teenage boys take part in a deadly annual walking contest, forced to maintain a minimum pace or be executed until only one survivor remains. So I did like this movie. It's also interesting because it's directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed most of the Hunger Games movies. And I did like this movie. I wish, my only like gripe with it is that I feel like it could have been longer, because I wish they did more world building. It's like pretty much just completely on the walk, and you don't really see what the world is like outside of the walk, and it doesn't really explain the government or why the walk is happening. And I kind of wish we just got like a little more explanation in world building, but other than that, the acting was really good. And then also some of the kills were just like kind of ridiculous and unrealistic, and I think they just did that to like make the movie interesting so everyone didn't die the same way. But if you're interested, honestly, I would watch it. Then I saw Freakier Friday in theaters, and I gave it 4 stars. I'm sorry, I love Freaky Friday. Like, I think the first one's so good, and usually sequels like this just like aren't that good, and I just thought they did such a good job with it. And you know, the original Freaky Friday for me is 5 stars, and then this one was 4. But I just love Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, and I thought it was really funny and well done. So yeah, I honestly would recommend it. Then on September 27th, I saw Weapons in the theater. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So my rating system, I guess, is more like based on genre. So like, this is 5 stars for a horror movie, but like, I don't think it's as good as Interstellar, which is also 5 stars. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like horror movies are usually worse than like other movies, so like, it's 5 stars for a horror movie. But I also really did like it. I've actually seen it twice, and my Letterboxd review of it was just got my shit rocked, because it was like crazy to watch in the theater, and people were like gasping, and I just love hearing people's reactions in the movie theater. I think it's so fun. So this is basically about a classroom where every single kid except for one student gets up in the middle of the night at 2:17 a.m. and runs out of the house, and they disappear. So they're trying to figure out like where all these kids went, why they all left at 2:17 in the morning, and why there's only one kid in the classroom who didn't go missing. And throughout the film, it's told through multiple point of views, which I really liked, and you don't see a lot in movies, so I thought that was super interesting and well done. Then on October 5th, I saw One Battle After Another in 70mm and IMAX. You guys. Okay, so the only Paul Thomas Anderson movie I had seen before One Battle After Another was Licorice Pizza, which not only did I dislike, I kind of hated it. So I did not think I would like this movie at all, and I had no idea what it was about. I just went in completely blind. My friends and I saw it at like 10 a.m. and it immediately went into my top 4 on Letterboxd. 5 stars. I was like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Like, definitely the best movie I've seen this year. And I don't want to give too much away because I went into it completely blind, and then I was so pleasantly surprised by what it was about, because it's just like so timely. But I'm gonna read the Letterboxd summary. So, when their evil nemesis resurfaces after 16 years, a band of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own. It is just like so gripping and interesting the entire time. The acting's insane. The subject matter is so important. The way it's shot, like there's a couple driving scenes and it literally made me motion sick because just of the way that the camera feels like it's in the car. I can't even explain it. Like, it's just so good, and I think everyone should watch it, and most people would like it. Then on October 8th, I watched The Monkey on my phone like Ted Sarandos intended. I gave it 3 stars. I just thought it was fun. I love Theo James because he's so gorgeous. And yeah, it was just kind of like a horror comedy. Nothing super special, but I do like horror comedies. So 3 stars. Solid, not great. So this also is a Stephen King adaptation. It was directed by Osgood Perkins. And it is about when twin brothers find a mysterious wind-up monkey, a series of outrageous deaths tear their family apart. 25 years later, the monkey begins a new killing spree, forcing the estranged brothers to confront the cursed toy. Then October 23rd, I watched The Black Phone, the first one. I loved this movie. It genuinely was so disturbing and stayed with me for a really long time. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it for weeks after I watched it. Finney Blake, a shy but clever 13-year-old boy, is abducted by a sadistic killer and trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of little use. When a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the killer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that what happened to them doesn't happen to Finney. It's just like such an uplifting story, even though it's really depressing and hard to watch. I just feel like it teaches the viewer a lot about teaching your kids how to defend themselves, stranger danger, and just has like a really inspiring, uplifting ending. I do want to see The Black Phone too. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, gave it 4 stars, really liked it. Then on October 28th, I saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time, and I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. Like, you know, it's not that scary because it's like from the 70s, and it's just kind of funny to watch now because Leatherface is just like so slow. It's like kind of unrealistic, but there are some beautiful shots in it, and I just feel like it's a classic. Then that week of Halloween, I rewatched it, which I've seen like a million times. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 4 on Letterboxd. You either get it or you don't. Like, some people are so obsessed with this movie and some people are like, yeah, it's fine, I don't get it. I think the group of kids are so funny, and that's what makes the movie so great. Also, I feel like I don't need to summarize that one. And then the week of Halloween, I also rewatched X because I was Maxine Minx for Halloween and I just needed it fresh on the mind and for some inspo. So this is part of the Ty West X trilogy with Pearl and Maxine. And this one I also gave 3 stars because like I like it, but it's also not like the best thing I've ever seen. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, the cast finds themselves fighting for their lives. If you like slashers, you would like it. Then I went and saw Sinners in 70mm in IMAX, and then that's when I changed it to 5 stars because it was just freaking life-changing. The soundtrack is so amazing. I don't even need to talk about that again, but that was quite the experience. Then on November 6th, I saw Nuremberg, which I gave 3.5 stars. This was honestly really good. It's about the Nuremberg trials. Judgment is coming. In post-war Germany, an American psychiatrist must determine whether Nazi prisoners are fit to go on trial for war crimes, and finds himself in a complex battle of intellect and ethics with Hermann Göring, Hitler's right-hand man. One part of this film that I thought was really interesting was that they showed actual footage from the Holocaust. So kind of as the people on the screen were reacting to it, like the audience was reacting to it. And when I was watching it, I kind of just thought that the movie had like made footage, and then I looked it up after and it was real footage from the Holocaust. So that part was like super disturbing and moving. Then on November 10th, I saw Frankenstein in 70mm. I gave it 4 stars. This movie's so good. I do think it could have been like 20 minutes shorter, but that's my critique on like most movies. But the acting and the costumes were so good. I just love Mia Goth so much too. It's honestly just a really great story. Okay, so then on November 12th, I went to the theater and I saw Begonia. And I'm gonna be so honest, I kind of hated this movie, and I'm gonna get hate for saying this, and I don't care because art is put out there to be critiqued and not everyone has to like everything. The summary is 2 conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. So without giving too much away, the reason that this movie made me so upset is it's a remake of a Korean movie, and it is an anti-capitalist, anti-billionaire movie, which that part of it I don't have a problem with. Like, I agree with that. But in the original movie, the CEO is a man, and in this one it's Emma Stone, and just given the nature of the movie, I don't like that they recast a woman as the CEO. I don't want to give any spoilers as to why, but it just genuinely made me uncomfortable. I think that in this current political climate that this movie is not going to be received the right way, and the dynamic between the 2 conspiracy obsessed young men, who's Jesse Plemons' character. Basically, Jesse Plemons' character is abusing the other man the whole movie, and it was really hard to watch and really disturbing, not in a good way. And the like reveal at the end, I didn't think would be received well, and I think that it's possible that people could get the wrong message from this movie, and I was just like, oh, I don't think people are gonna like take this in the way that it was intended to be taken. So yeah, that's why I had a problem with it, and it made me upset and I didn't like it. Then on November 13th, I went to the theater and saw Die My Love. So this I gave 3.5 because the acting was really amazing. It was beautifully shot, but there like wasn't a story. And I mean, Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson like know this, and they've said this in interviews, like it's kind of like poetry. It's up to interpretation. There isn't like a linear story, but their acting was amazing, so that was entertaining. But I wasn't like wowed by a storyline or anything. Then I rewatched The Holiday on November 15th and I gave it 4 stars. I just love this movie so much. It's a classic. Jude Law's character is just perfect. Then on November 17th, I saw Keeper in theaters. Did not like this one. I gave it 2 stars. I just thought it was really slow. It's based on Japanese folklore, which I feel like could be really cool, but I just don't think it was like executed that well, if that makes sense. Blurb is Liz and Malcolm escape for a romantic anniversary weekend at a secluded cabin. When Malcolm suddenly returns to the city, Liz finds herself isolated and in the presence of an unspeakable evil that reveals the cabin's horrifying secrets. It did have a jump scare that made my soul leave my body, so I appreciated that, and the like special effects makeup was cool, but that's about it. Then I saw The Running Man in theaters on November 19th, and you guys, I was so pleasantly surprised by this. So I knew nothing about this movie, just that Glenn Powell was starring in it, and I'm not gonna lie, he is not enough to get me to a movie. But I got an email from AMC that was like, if you go to The Running Man between these dates, you'll be automatically entered to win a $3,000 cash prize. And I was unemployed, and I was like, I need this money so bad, like let's go. So I called my other unemployed friend and we went together, and I was so pleasantly surprised. I love this movie. It's a Stephen King adaptation, which I did not know. They mentioned dairy in it, and I just love how he connects like so many of his stories together. I gave it 4 stars. Desperate to save his sick daughter, working class Ben Richards is convinced by the Running Man's charming but ruthless producer to enter the deadly competition game as a last resort. But Ben's defiance, instincts, and grit turns him into an unexpected fan favorite and a threat to the entire system. As ratings skyrocket, so does the danger, and Ben must outwit not just the hunters, but a nation addicted to watching him fall. This again is a dystopian story, which I just love, but there's so much action that it was so entertaining the whole time, and I really like the messaging behind it, so I loved it. Then on November 22nd, I rewatched The First Wicked, which I gave 5 stars again. I just love that movie. Then November 24th, I watched Eraserhead for the first time, and I did not like it. I was kind of bored, not gonna lie. I gave it 2 stars. Sorry. Then November 25th, I watched Train Dreams. I gave it 3 stars because like it's a good movie and the acting was great. It was just slow, and I find it hard to pay attention to slow movies, and it was really sad, like very sad. A logger leads a life of quiet grace as he experiences love and loss during an era of monumental challenge in early 20th century America. Then on November 26th, I watched The Witch, which has been on my want to watch list for a really, really long time. Evil takes many forms. In 1630, a farmer relocates his family to a remote plot of land on the edge of a forest where strange, unsettling things happen. With suspicion and paranoia mounting, each family member's faith, loyalty, and love are tested in shocking ways. So Anya Taylor-Joy's in this when she was really young, and it's directed by Robert Eggers, who directed Nosferatu, and I love that movie. I loved The Witch. I gave it 4 stars. It was beautifully shot. The acting was great. The story was interesting. Just a great movie. Then on November 27th, I went to the theater and saw Wicked for Good, and I did not like this one nearly as much as the first one. I gave it 3.5. I just didn't think that the songs were as good, and I thought there was too much Ariana. Sorry. I feel like that was a pretty popular opinion among my friends, was that the second one just like wasn't as good, and personally I think that instead of adding 2 more songs into the second one, they could have just made it one movie and cut down a lot. I don't know. Then November 29th, I saw Hamnet in theaters. I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. The acting was literally amazing. A powerful story of love and loss that inspired the creation of Shakespeare's timeless masterpiece, Hamlet. It's also beautiful. It is like a slower movie, but I was still pretty engaged the whole time. Then December 18th, I saw Marty Supreme, and I loved that movie so much. In 1950s New York, Marty Mauser, a young man with a dream no one respects, goes to hell and back in pursuit of greatness. So this is just super entertaining. The camera work was so interesting. The acting was obviously amazing. I love Tyler, the Creator, in it. I just love him and I want to see him in more movies. But I would recommend it if you haven't seen it, because most people I have talked to have really liked it. Then December 22nd, I saw Avatar: Fire and Ash. Guys, honestly, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I didn't love it. I thought it like had the same plot as the last movie. Like, obviously it looks really cool and like I like the messaging of it, but I just feel like it was the same story. So I gave it 3 stars, and I know that all the movies are really long and that's like James Cameron's thing, but it could have been shorter. And I didn't say that about the first 2 Avatar movies. I love the first 2. I gave the second one 5 stars. And I thought it was like perfectly done. And this, I was just like, it's too long. I don't know. Sorry, don't hate me. Then on Christmas, I rewatched Home Alone. Obvious 5 stars, it's a classic. Then December 26th, I saw No Other Choice. And this is getting a lot of praise. People are like calling it this year's Parasite, which like, I don't love that. Like, maybe just because it's a Korean movie that's about like money, but I did not think it was as good as Parasite. After being laid off and humiliated by a ruthless job market, a veteran paper mill manager descends into violence in a desperate bid to reclaim his dignity. I gave it 3 stars. Like, it was good, but like nothing amazing. In my opinion, sorry. If you thought it was great, I love that for you. Then on the 27th, I saw Sentimental Value, which I gave 3.5 stars. Sisters Nora and Agnes reunite with their estranged father, the charismatic Gustave, a once renowned director who offers stage actress Nora a role in what he hopes will be his comeback film. When Nora turns it down, she soon discovers he has given her part to an eager young Hollywood star. This was like good. The acting was great. I just gave it 3.5 because it was like kind of slow. Then December 28th, I saw Iron Man for the first time. I gave it 3 stars. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite thing ever. Then December 28th, I saw Rental Family. I actually really liked this. It was really cute. It's shot in Japan and it made me want to go to Japan so badly. I've never been and I've been dying to go. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, I need to go. So, an American actor in Tokyo struggles to find purpose until he lands an unusual gig working for a Japanese rental family agency, playing stand-in roles for strangers. As he immerses himself in his clients' worlds, he begins to form genuine bonds that blur the lines between performance and reality. So this movie makes you ask a lot of questions about morality, which I really like. And the acting is great and it's beautiful. So I gave it 4 stars. Then on the 29th, I saw The Housemaid in theaters, and this was such a fun experience because my theater was just like super fun. I gave it 3 stars because like I loved it, but it's not like the best thing I've ever seen. So, trying to escape her past, Millie accepts a job as a live-in housemaid for the wealthy Nina and Andrew Winchester. But what begins as a dream job quickly unravels into something far more dangerous, a sexy, seductive game of secrets, scandal, and power. So my theater was super fun. It's honestly just like a fun movie. I would recommend it if you want a fun movie. So that's it. That's everything that I watched in 2025. Let me know your favorite movies for this year, or if you agree or disagree with any of my opinions. I'll link my Letterboxd below if you want to follow me on that. If you watched this far, please comment the popcorn emoji so I can see if you're still here. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!